Thank you for watching the Unagi Observer. This is Steve Gerhardt, and welcome to episode 2 of Where to Eat in Baltimore. This is the annual episodes that I do for those who are coming to Otakon. This is going to be the last Otakon in Baltimore before it moves down to DC in 2017. Okay, before we get started about talking about Harbor East and where to get stuff and eat over there, in case you happen to stay in a hotel that's over in Harbor East, we're going to talk a little bit about safety in Baltimore. If you are not from Baltimore, then chances are what you know of Baltimore comes from CNN, The Wire, or Homicide. And while The Wire and Homicide were very good shows, and CNN is pretty accurate when it comes to news, there is actually a lot more to Baltimore than what those programs provide. Actually, it's a really nice city to live in. I've been here for like almost 20 years now. Anyway, this little missive is going to be about safety and safety in downtown while you're at the convention. And the things I'm going to talk about are largely speaking common sense things that you can use in any major city in the United States, and a lot of what I'm going to talk about actually applies to any city that you go to here in this country. There are a couple things in Baltimore that are specific to Baltimore, but overall you can take this to any metropolitan area that you go to. Okay, one of the things I want to point out specifically about Baltimore is that when you come to the convention center, you are going to be in an area of town that is heavily patrolled by police. What you see on The Wire, what you see on CNN, and what you see on Homicide really doesn't happen downtown. The exception, of course, was the riots. But largely speaking, on day-to-day crime, you're not going to see drive-by shootings. You're not going to have a whole bunch of heroin pushers on every corner. There's actually very few muggings that happen where you're going to be at. Pickpocketing practically doesn't even exist downtown. I mean, it's something that's not even a Baltimore thing. So these are things that you kind of don't have to worry about. If you're staying in a hotel in Baltimore, odds are you're going to be near the convention center, so that would be downtown, or you're going to be in Harbor East, which we're going to talk about here in a moment, or you're going to be in Midtown. None of these places are remotely near bad neighborhoods where you have to worry about crime. If you're coming in from Penn Station, that means you're going to be north of Midtown. You're going to be Mount Vernon, my neighborhood. And again, you're not going to be anywhere near a bad neighborhood where you have to worry about these things. In fact, in order for you to get into a bad neighborhood, you actually have to travel to it. You can't even just walk to it. It's not like you walk 2 blocks north from the Inner Harbor and bam, you're in a bad neighborhood. You actually have to go there. So either you're really, really lost, stupid, or you actually have a drug habit. And that's the only reason why you should be anywhere outside of these areas. So in terms of major crimes, muggings and things like that, odds are it's not going to happen, especially if you follow a couple rules. First one, use your common sense. Don't go down dark alleys. Don't go anywhere by yourself if you don't have to. Always travel in groups. It's just better anyway. It's more fun. Again, if you don't have to leave the area, don't. Because if you don't have to, why should you? I mean, you're there for the convention, right? And other things that you probably don't want to do is you don't want to give money, and you don't want to feed the bums. I know a lot of you are kind-hearted and you want to help them out, and I commend you greatly for that attitude. That's a really good attitude to have. The problem is that if you give them money, within probably 60 seconds, you're going to have 5 other bums holding their hand out, and they're going to expect you to give them money as well. And so you don't want that. That's no fun. When I first moved up to Baltimore, I made that mistake, and it's not something you want to go through. The other part of it is believe it or not, don't feed them. And it's kind of like don't feed the animals. I hate to equate the homeless to animals, but they literally do. If you feed a homeless person once, if they see you, they're going to come straight to you and expect you to feed them again. You're their meal ticket. That's what happens. And the other reason why you shouldn't be feeding these people or giving them money is because there are at least 10 shelters that clothe, feed, and provide beds for the homeless within a 10-block area of the convention center. So there's no reason for you to do that. The other part of this is, if you're going to be cosplaying, people are going to take your picture, obviously. When you're on the street, you're going to get a lot of people who point at you. The cool thing about Baltimore is that people kind of know this happens from year to year, and they think it's a neat thing. So you're probably going to get some nice comments. But again, it's one of those things of obviously use your common sense. If someone pulls up at the van and says, hey, can I take your picture? Maybe you should just keep walking. The other thing that is a phenomenon that's happening in major cities across the United States that we need to be aware of are the unfortunate groupings of city youth. Because they get bored and because their own neighborhoods are usually crappy, they come to the tourist in their parts of the city. Why not? It's their city. They should be able to go there if they want. The problem is that sometimes fights break out and they get rowdy and all that. And, so anywhere from 10 to 50 of these kids suddenly cause a problem. If you happen to be near one of these incidents, all you have to do is turn around and walk away. That's literally all you have to do. And the reason why you just need to walk away is because they're not after you. They don't care about you. Whatever's going on, that's what has their attention. And somebody has already called it in. So that you should expect a police presence within 60 to 120 seconds. If you're walking away, that tells the police that you're not part of it. So you don't really need to be stopped by the cops. So that's really what you need to do. Just use your common sense and keep aware of your surroundings. Travel with other people. You're most likely coming down with your friends anyway, so stick with your buds and really just have a good time. Harbor East is the wonderful little tiny part of the city that's on the east side of the Inner Harbor, all the way over on the east side, like past the Barnes and Noble side. And it's a really neat neighborhood. Some of you are going to be staying in some of the hotels over there, so definitely this episode is for you. And this is for anyone who might want to take advantage if you're coming in on Thursday, early to pick up your badges or something, or to check in early to your hotel. This is not a bad place to go to get something to eat, or maybe get some food and stuff for your hotel room. So this is Harbor East. Like I said, it's on the east side of the Inner Harbor, and let's go ahead and get started. If you are not staying in a hotel at Harbor East, then you're probably going to be walking to Harbor East, and you're probably going to be following Pratt Street, which is down that next intersection down there, and you're going to want to turn right on President Street, which is the street that we're facing right now. Or you're probably going to come up this way, right over here, which is through the Inner Harbor. You can kind of see once we round the corner here a little bit, you will see kind of like the aquarium and Pier 6 and that kind of stuff right down there. There's a little bridge over there, and you can cross that, and then once you get there, you'll come over here, and again, that's President Street right there, so that's Eastern that you'll be walking across. So either Pratt or Eastern, and you're going to take a right onto President Street to the Harbor East area. You can take the Orange Line Circulator straight from the Convention Center to Harbor East. This stop right there is stop 226. It's called the Harbor East stop, and it does not stop at the fountain in the middle anymore. It's going to stop right here, which is, and that street that you see right there is Exeter Street. There's stuff down there that you can go to, or you can keep going down Fleet Street, which is this street right here that the bus is driving along. Now there's going to be more stuff, some new stuff down that way that I'm going to show you. Or you can go right down here and back towards President Street, and on the corner is Starbucks. So let's start looking at things. Okay, you're going to notice that I did not mention some of the restaurants that I've mentioned before in Where to Eat episodes in the past here in Harbor East. And the reason why I did that is because those restaurants, while very nice, they are nice restaurants. They are expensive, and if they saw one look at you in your cosplay, they tell you, nope, go down the street. And they would promptly kick you out or refuse entry. So I just really focused on stuff that was cheap, affordable, that you can get quick food or larder up on your hotel room, those kinds of things, so that you can spend your time at a convention center doing what you want to do, and spending your money down at the dealer's room, getting your cat's ears, your Pocky, your manga, your anime DVDs, that good stuff. Prioritize your money. So anyways, that's why I didn't show a lot of the stuff that I have in the past. Okay, so that's going to be it for Harbor East. This is the Unagi Observer. My name is Steve Gerhardt. And don't forget that there is an AMV contest here from this YouTube channel that you can actually win stuff from. Check out the link below for the rules and regs, and hope you decide to enter. Okay, and I will see you guys next time.